What's up everybody, it's your boy Corey, KGQ Saint, back from another reaction video. And we decided to react to a Cosmic Wonder video. I haven't did that in a long while. This is Marvel Kang replacement officially cast, so I don't know who it is, who they got. There's been different rumors, such as I forgot his name. Also, I think Denzel Washington's son, John Day Washington, was supposed to be considered. So anyway, let's go and get into it. You already know, special question, have a comment below. Let me know what you had to. The previous comment, my previous video, yes, I do my best, try to do requests. And sometimes I do request sometimes videos again, blah, blah. I'm trying to get back on to be more consistent with it. But anyway, let's go and dive on into it, y'all.
I'm your host Warren, and we have some good news and bad news. Depends on how you view the situation.
What's the bad
Depends
news?
on what you have wanted since everything went down with Jonathan Majors. Because it looks like they have cast their new Kang the Conqueror. If not, they are right on the brink of casting the new Kang the Conqueror. But the good news is, again, depending how you look at it, they are moving forward with Kang in the MCU. They're not going to just get rid of him. However, it does seem like their plans have changed, at least a little bit. But we'll break it all down in this video. And of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. Now, you might have heard the name Colman Domingo. He's been in
that's what I was talking about, Colman Domingo.
Fear the Walking Dead, Rustin in 2023, and The Color Purple as well. But most importantly, there was a report not too long ago that stated Marvel Studios was eyeing Colman Domingo to play Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. And Colman basically has now confirmed he has had conversations with Marvel Studios about playing a character in the MCU. Now, he confirmed he's had talks with them, but when it came down to if he's been cast as Kang or not, he gave a typical Marvel actor response, which makes everybody believe, yeah, he's been cast. Plus, he did indeed say that he is down. He said that he wants to be a supervillain. In fact, he said it would be more fun if he was indeed a supervillain in the MCU.
It's still a shame with John May. He is a great actor. He did such a good job.
On March the 2nd,
I think he has time to appeal his decision, but you know, appeals can take a long time.
He said, I know what you're going to ask. You're going to talk about the MCU. It's funny how people are online.
MCU need to get back on track this year. So far, their biggest bet is Deadpool and Wolverine. They need a big kid.
I was just like, what rumor? Who? Where's this coming from? I just didn't think about it. The next day, I woke up. It's everywhere. And check out what he said next. It's very
now streaming on Hulu. I love you! What are they doing letting us in a place this nice?
interesting. He says, you know, listen, my team has had conversations with Marvel about some aspect of the MCU for years. Do I know it to be true or not? I actually don't know. I feel like my team doesn't bring me something unless it's real. So, I don't know. I could be in conversation, but I'm not sure. I would welcome a conversation around it. Now, this could be kind of confusing if you don't know
doesn't like The Walking Dead. She's hate dates. She had about the humans fighting each other, still working together.
Speaking to studios about possibly casting the people they represent. And this isn't all that Colman Domingo said about the role. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first, to explain this part, what he is basically saying here is that his team has said to him that they have had conversations with Marvel Studios on his behalf. And that's what they do. That is specifically what his team is supposed to do. They meet with Marvel Studios, they talk to Marvel Studios about what role they
Jonathan Majors came. He was the best I ever by an Ant-Man Wasp movie.
All of the information. Ultimately, if he thinks it is a good idea and Marvel Studios goes, okay, we do indeed think we want him for this role, we would love to meet him now, that is when the studio would meet with him. Now, it doesn't always work this way. Sometimes the studios just want to go ahead and meet with an actor in person right away before divulging too much to their team. But a lot of the times, of course, it goes through an agent or management team. So what he's basically saying is his team has met with Marvel Studios. That is what his team has told them, and he believes they don't ever bring him anything that's not real, so of course he believes them. His team has met with Marvel. But it's also funny how coy he is playing about it, and this is a typical Marvel actor response. The typical Marvel actor response is, basically say you don't know. Not to say no, not to say yes, kind of pretend like you don't really know what's going on about it, but basically you can never say yes. Contractually,
But you watch Loki series, I think the last episode it actually covered Ant-Man and Wasp was at the very end. He Who Remains was called Control Earth 616, which is like the main
leaks from SAG
universe in Marvel.
But still, no mention from him whatsoever. Of course, he couldn't confirm it because legally he can't. And then Marvel Studios released it on Valentine's Day out of all the days. But basically,
we know
Marvel
Kang
wants
doesn't
to be
have
the people to make an
superpowers. It's
official
like his
announcement about
technology
it,
plus
which
his
is why the
genius
actors have to
intellect.
remain hush hush. But basically, he said he welcomed a conversation around it. Then he said this in a different interview with.
I think he was originally
Tonight,
Fantastic
we're asking
Four
questions about Kang the Conqueror. He
villain,
just decided to
then
address
became
it
more of a
head-on.
huge
He
threat
said,
for the
"I don't know.
Avengers."
I'm always looking at what I have to do right now. I know there's talk and conversations around, and I don't know how much is true. I don't even get that from my team. I can't tell if it's true or not. The fans are passionate. Somehow my name is out there in the world, and I like the idea of just having your name called and someone speaking lovingly.
Yeah, I like that
about
too.
Something is a beautiful thing.
Keep him in
and
the
I do
loop,
like
like,
how he said that. I believe he's
thinking.
very respectful and appreciative of the fandom, and he's already expressed that he would love to join the MCU, and he did specifically say he wants to be a villain. And again,
If
I
the
think
script is
he's
right,
definitely
the
had
character is
conversations
right,
with Marvel
also
Studios about
the money
specifically playing
as well
Kang the
too.
Conqueror, but of course, like always, he
I was more
cannot
curious.
say
I
yes.
know
And
this
in
set from
this
top of
case,
that
he is
Madam
simply
Web.
saying he doesn't
I might say that
know.
in the
He's not
video.
even saying no.
Which
He's
is
saying
Madam
he
Web
doesn't
is
know.
trash.
Because there are routes that you could go
Come
to
on,
where
I
you
want
just
that
straight
theater.
up
I think
deny it.
the rumor
Most
has Dakota
actors
Johnson
choose to not
actually
do this
fired
route,
her
and I
agent.
believe more recently, Marvel Studios has actors simply say they don't know. That way, people keep up the speculation and keep up the conversation around it, and it has a lot of buzz. Whereas before, like Paul Rudd straight up said he's not playing Ant-Man, and then of course he was. Same thing with Andrew Garfield when he said, no, I'm not the werewolf, and then appeared in Spider-Man No Way Home. But when they say they don't know, it does spark a little bit more of a conversation, even though most of the time when actors say no, we still don't believe them anyways. At least he did confirm something for us.
Yeah, they
though.
gotta
He
keep it
has
a
had
secret,
talks with Marvel Studios,
which
or
is
at
very
least his team
understandable.
has. But I actually think he's
Especially with
probably
Spider-Man No
Kevin
Way
Feige at
Home,
this
they
point,
had
and I
to
think
keep it a
he's probably
secret.
going to be our next Kang the Conqueror, which means Marvel Studios has decided to not move away entirely from Kang the Conqueror. Now, it was the Hollywood Reporter who reported that Avengers Kang Dynasty is no longer the Kang Dynasty, but in fact is Avengers 5. So I'm assuming, if they are correct, and they are a big outlet who does have trustworthy sources, so if they're correct, that means then Avengers 5 isn't going to focus around Kang, and they're probably just going to put Kang to the sideline for a little bit. Give the Jonathan Majors situation some time to die down a little bit, and then bring Kang back in with a new actor.
Like try to build that hype like they did with
Because here's the thing,
Thanos.
and I've seen some people talk about
Thanos,
this
his
online.
role wasn't
They
big in
really
Guardians of the
set up
Galaxy
Kang in
neither.
such
Like
a
they were
huge
leading
way
up to that.
A lot of people were really excited about the story.
Josh Brolin, he's
But
still current.
this
That's
is
one
why
of
I said
his
it's
one of
good
his
or
best
bad
roles.
news, because I know a lot of people really still wanted Jonathan Majors to play Kang the Conqueror. Well, at this
Yeah.
point in time, since Coleman Domingo confirmed he has had talks with Marvel Studios, or his team has, I don't think Jonathan Majors is going to return. Even if he appeals and he wins, I'm not sure he'll be back as Kang the Conqueror. I think Marvel Studios is trying to move on with their plans for Kang, which means they are limited with their time,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
too
appeal
much
with
stuff
Jonathan
to
Majors
do.
could
It's
take a very long
that's
time.
actually
So they
very
simply have to move
complicated.
forward with
They already had to
recasting
push a
right
bunch
now.
of
Because even
projects
though the
back, so
immediate
yes, it's a
projects
lot.
coming
It's a
up,
lot.
like Captain America Brave New World, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Daredevil Born Again, the Thunderbolts, even though some of these upcoming ones aren't going to directly deal with Kang, there are some big projects coming up that are going to have to deal with him. And
That's
even
a dope
Avengers
picture
5
right
is going
there.
to have to somewhat mention him. They don't have to show him per se, but they're going to have to mention him. However, if they do recast Kang with Coleman Domingo, they could have him cameo at the end of Avengers 5, maybe at the very end or in a
Yeah,
post-credit scene.
I
Also,
like
not to
that.
mention, San Diego Comic-Con is coming up. Perhaps they want to announce a recasting, then introduce the new
I've been to
King the
different
Conqueror
Comic-Cons,
in Hall
especially
H
my
on the big
hometown.
stage. And honestly, I'm a fan of
I've
Coleman
yet to-
Domingo.
I still
think he
always
would
wanna
make
visit
a
San
great
Diego
King the Conqueror. I
Comic-Con.
think he's a great actor. I think he puts a lot of time and work into the roles that he gets. And yes, I was a big fan of Jonathan Majors as King the Conqueror, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's just not in your control. And I think Coleman Domingo would do a great job. And I think he might be our new King. I think Marvel Studios has probably talked to him about this directly and probably has locked it down, but he's playing coy because of course he has to. But that's just my theory, just
Yeah.
my speculation. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. If it is true and he has been cast as Kang already, do you like this casting choice? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't
We'll
forget
see.
to like.
Okay, I'm stuck right there, but anyway, I definitely agree with that fact. Anyway, let me know how you feel about the video. Will he play, you know, a good Kang the Conqueror or not? It's your own personal opinion. Anyway, let me know how you feel about it. Make sure you give a boy a like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, have a fantastic day or evening. Get this render video right now, render now, so I can post it as soon as possible. Anyway, peace.